Bang, 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 bang.
A couple of these for each one.
He's in the building.
This is for the ones who care.
Bang, bang, bang. What's going on, people? Welcome back to another video. And today, have a look at where we are. Look at these lovelies. Robbie and Joel. We were on set of the Arsenal Nation.
You can. I'm trying to get that hughwizzy here. I'm losing. I got parking spaces at the moment.
I'm trying to get the wizzy here as well.
Yeah, that cheeky hair, you know.
Wizzy,
Yeah.
let me
We're trying to work, you know what I mean?
Let me some hair.
I mean, give us some of this bad boy over here. You know what I'm
How
saying?
you grow that so quick, man?
Bruv, it's all in the genes, mate. It's all in the
It really
genes.
is.
Trust me, man.
Right, we just filmed the Arsenal Nation, which should be going up tomorrow, so make sure you guys check that out on Arsenal's YouTube channel. Here's a little look at the set, behind the scenes and whatnot. We didn't get into talking about some football whilst I say goodbye to these guys and wrap up here. Let's get into it. Bang! So that was good. Always nice to get a call up from the Arsenal. I'm here with Arsenal Fan TV sensation, the man behind the camera. So, how's it going, man?
Yeah, not bad, busy, man.
You guys are taking over the market, bruv.
Ooh, just do my thing, grinding away.
You guys have been everywhere. Sensational headlines, interviews with the stars. It's all popping off.
Yeah, it's a bit crazy.
Right, I'm back. I really can't be asked to cook right now, so I'm going to go and get some chips, but we'll talk football in the car. I've just been talking into my fucking camera for 12 minutes or something like that. I wasn't recording. Basically, I'm making this video because I made a video, an hour-long video actually, the other day, and my computer couldn't handle the rendering that the video required. This video is about Manchester City against Monaco. I know it's a bit late, but like I said, I already made the fucking video and I'm not even going to be able to remember everything that I said in the video because it's so long ago now. It's nearly a week ago. But there's so many of you asking for the video in the comments that I had to do a quick little reaction to it, okay? I want to tell you that Manchester City against Monaco, I think it was 5-3, 8-goal thriller, was one of the best games that I've seen in a long time. And it wasn't just because it had dramatic, controversial moments. It wasn't just because it had, you know, good decisions and bad decisions from the referee. It wasn't because we saw quality goals. It wasn't because world-class finishes. It wasn't because you had two of the best managers in world football going head-to-head. It wasn't because some of the stuff that we saw was just sultry, sumptuous football. It wasn't the pace of the attack. It wasn't the power of the other. It wasn't... I'll tell you what it was, right? If you wanted to introduce someone to the game of football, introduce someone to the sport, right? This was the perfect game. And I say that because something very rare was taking place when these two teams were playing, and that is that both sides came to play football. And I know that sounds weird, but it's actually a real rarity in a game for two sides to come and play football. And it's a really beautiful thing when it happens. A very exciting game. Very impressed with Pep Guardiola. I'll say it again and again and again. Do not underestimate Pep. He has his own way. It's not always the right way, but it's when it does work, it's a beautiful thing. And defensively, we've talked about this. They've got their holes, they've got their frailties, their vulnerabilities. We know about that. What he's doing is overriding that. It's basically, I have to score more because I know I'm going to concede some. And that's what this game was. On the flip side, you got Jardine, who has taken Monaco so far already this season that they genuinely look like they might win the title. They are the most free scoring club in European football. Scored like 20 more than PSG or something. I mean, it's phenomenal. And the resurgence of Falcao is a beautiful thing to watch. His diving header was good enough for me. The leap that he was able to get, the accuracy, the power that he got behind that. But the next finish, his chipped finish, as he left John Stones for dead on the floor. He could have passed the ball into the bottom corner. He could have thumped it into the top corner. But, you know, form is temporary, right? Form is temporary. And I loved Falcao before his injury. It was a desperately sad thing to see him crying in front of this kid who'd asked him what was wrong and why he couldn't go to the World Cup. And you could see he just fell apart and crumbled because it meant the world to him, and he just lost everything at the very peak of his career, the very pinnacle. His career in England, or the time that he spent in England, was certainly affected by Not only his injury, but also his confidence and how quick people are in England to write people off. And, you know, he didn't have the best of times, let's be honest, but his movement is phenomenal. It is phenomenal. I don't know where I'd place it with Cavani, whose movement I really rate as well, but Falcao's finish, that chipped finish, was just out of this world. I don't think Fernandinho had the best game, all right? I do like Fabinho. He's so versatile as well. You could play him in about 5 positions. And who's the other guy? What's his name? Is it Bakayoko? He looks quality as well. But the main man, wow. Wow, he's unreal. He's actually unreal. Silva. Bernardo Silva. He's knocking on true ballers, mate. Forget the bench. He's knocking on the front door. I've not seen much of this guy, but he looks... he looks next level, mate. Next level. I saw him doing Berber spins to escape the attention of 2 players. Then, in the same one swift move, nutmegging Yaya Toure and turning to split a defence. 4 players, bang, one sliced through ball. Oh, in perfection! Oh my God! No, he looks unreal. Try not to swear, right? He looks incredible. Whoever gets this guy has got themselves a real gem. But you know, if Monaco got Champions League football, maybe they can keep hold of him. I know that the guy who owned Monaco had to sell up, and they might not have as much financial security anymore. But they'll probably be looking to cash in. But Mbappe. His celebration, let's talk about that first before we talk about the actual football. His celebration, what is it? It's Thierry Henry. I've seen him actually celebrate for I think it's for the under-19s with Cristiano Ronaldo's spin and land, here I am, that type of celebration. But that was just a genuine tribute to Titi Henry. And he really does have traits of Henry, and he showed real maturity with his finish. He could have had another, I think. But he looks like he could be the real deal. It's early doors. You hear that all the time, especially with players coming out of Monaco. Big talent. I really hope someone snatches him up like Arsenal. Manchester City players. Fernandinho didn't have the best game, did he? Yaya was quite good, but I think, you know, obviously Sane, Sterling, top class. I would actually say Kevin De Bruyne was my man of the match. However, I think John Stones got such a lot to learn that it's a little bit worrying. He needs a really experienced centre-back next to him as soon as possible. So I wouldn't be surprised to see City dipping into the market for a top centre-back. But anyway, that's like a week ago, and there's been so much football that's happened since. I did the video on Leicester against Liverpool, so if you haven't seen that, go and check it out. Obviously, Ranieri's been sacked. We've had, well, City were playing last night against Huddersfield. I mean, the state of refereeing is actually abysmal. Sane, the boy, the true, is he true ballers? He's in the squad. He's in the fucking squad. Raheem Sterling as well. Sublime stuff. Not the biggest talking point, I guess. Not really that much of a surprise. United won the Carling Cup, the EFL Cup. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, what a pivotal marksman he has turned out to be. How wrong he has proved so many people. How laughable it is that people were doubting him in the first place. 35 years old, and he has got 15 Premier League goals this season, I think. He's pushing for 30 in a year, for 30 this season in all competitions, which is just phenomenal. But they are slightly over-reliant on him, I think. And if they were to sign him on for another year, which I think they really should be doing, then you'd have to think that, well, planning needs to be put in place already. It probably has been, for them to have a replacement, because they won't be able to get that many goals out of him. They just won't be able to play the guy as much as they're playing him right now. It was a great game, actually, the Southampton game. It was a really good game. I don't want to do a whole video on it because, again, I've left it a little bit late. I've had a lot on my plate recently. Real Madrid, bloody hell, what a game that was. Real Madrid against Las Palmas. What a game. Modric set Isco through, great through ball, simple finish from Isco. Then they just fell apart. Las Palmas, again, La Liga teams in general, they play such good football and they're just not scared of Real Madrid or Barcelona right now. I think Barca won 6-1 on the same night, very convincing, but have basically announced that they are going to be departing or parting ways with Luis Enrique, as predicted. I think it's more of a polite way of pushing him out of the door, if you will. And it's, you know, it's interesting because he has won the treble, but he's just not as tactically adept as I think people think he is. and that's quite clear. Even in the 6-1 victory, they were playing Busquets at centre-back, and then he was pushing into midfield and the ball. It was just like, this doesn't work, what are you doing? They can still win the league though. They can still win the league. It's very tight, but I would actually say that Sevilla are quite nicely placed. And with the fixtures that are coming up, again, no one is scared of these two big clubs in La Liga right now. They're very gettable, and I would say that Sampaoli's probably in line for the Barca job, but he could do himself, you know, huge favours. And where were we? Real Madrid. Man, it was just a bit of a mess, aren't they? Defensively, they were all over the place, especially for Kevin Prince Boateng's goal. I think that was a third one. He was one-on-one and had the whole half to run into. He actually didn't even have a man to beat. He'd beaten Marcelo before he even got over the halfway line. I don't know what Keylor Navas is thinking. Although Navas had been quite unlucky to concede the penalty when he's got his foot to it. I think he's a great keeper, actually, but I mean, it's swaying from the point slightly, but Marcelo is so good. To me, he's the best left-back in the world, without question. His crossing is phenomenal, and that came into play quite late on as Cristiano Ronaldo pulled out, you know, all the heroics that he can. 2 late goals, penalty, they called him Penaldo, but it was just one of the most phenomenal penalties. Absolutely top bins, just what a strike. And then they'd won themselves a corner, they took it short, James has run over, sprinted over and whipped in the most delightful cross, such pace on it, perfect height, perfect placement. And Ronaldo just got this jump man leap, and that hang time is unbelievable. And what a header, what a way to finish that game. And you could see it was happening, but again, the state of the officiating in La Liga, in the world in general, I think is pushing these plans for video-assisted replays and whatnot just much faster. They're further forward and faster than ever before. It's really needed now because it's getting out of hand. There's so much at stake, and whilst we want talking points, I think that it would just be a great idea to quash half of these controversial decisions by having the option at least of challenging the referee. If maybe you could give them like 3 challenges per game or something like that for each team. La Liga is so fiercely competitive right now. Serie A, not so much. Bundesliga is probably one of the best Bundesligas for a while, although Bayern Munich look like they've run away with it now. Leipzig have been phenomenal. League is just so tight. Premier League, not so much. Scotland, not at all. It's just an absolute joke. And I saw it's just one of the most laughable examples of the standard of football, the quality of football. And that's not to say that there aren't great players in Scotland, because there are some top quality players out there, but Dembele, literally from kickoff, he's closed down his man. He's done a little bit of pressing, he's worked quite hard, but just calamitous football, calamitous defending. A real comedy goal, comedy show, worthy of the comedy club. The easiest goal that he'll score in his life probably, although he did very nice little dink over the keeper before he finished it and tucked it home. I'll leave a link to in the description to that goal. But anyway, I've got to rush off because it's my aunt's birthday and I want to go and visit her and, you know, get her flowers and all that malarkey. So I'm going to be loving you and leaving you here. If there is anything you want me to talk about in the next video, make sure you leave it in the comment section. I will be doing an Ask Hugh this weekend. So if you don't know, then just look up Ask Hugh on YouTube. Or on my channel, and you'll see the type of question that I'm looking for. It's personal stuff, it's not football related at all. We'll be going over all the big games and the talking points that are happening there, and I'll also be doing a Hughes News where we just look at some of the stuff that's happening in the world of football. But yeah, I've got a couple of announcements that I'm looking to make in the next week, basically. Can't say anything, basically. I've signed a couple of NDAs, so can't announce anything just yet, but quite exciting times ahead. I hope everyone's well. I mean, I've got some questions I want to ask you guys. Is Harry Kane actually as good as people are making out? Is Arsene Wenger going to stay? Some great fights this weekend, might even do a video on that. Subscribe if you're new, drop the video a like if you breathe oxygen, and I'll see you in the next one. For now though, my name's been hughwizzy, and this has been a lot of fun. Peace.